What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to see how long you can ride until you pass out from heat stroke. I'm very obviously joking about that. Today it is about 105 degrees with a heat index of somewhere around the 110 115 range, depending on where you are. So it is unreasonably hot, so make sure you stay hydrated. I always like to keep a backpack on me full of water on days like this. A Gatorade, water, a little bit of ice in there, you know. So make sure you stay hydrated. It is really easy to get heat stroke while riding on days like today. Keeping in fashion with challenges, though, is a great topic for today's episode. So you know how Mr. Beast is out there and he's got videos like, oh, if you can, you know, run faster than a track star, you know, you win 100 grand or something like that. Or some of his many other videos where it's basically a normal person or maybe an above average person versus a professional. I would love to see some videos that are very similar to that with motorcycles. And honestly, a really good point to this is Seaboys actually just did something very similar recently. When they did their cross country in their like $3,000 car, they had actually taken it to a track to like race them, and they had a professional racer race the slowest car. And it'd be so funny to see, like, you know, a lot of these 1000cc roll racers or something like that. I want to see them get put on a track. They can still ride their 1000, but I want to see a professional racer on like a 125 or a 300, and I want to see if they could do it. It'd be really awesome to see, you know. I'm not out there trying to call out people saying that you can't ride and whatnot, and obviously a professional is going to be better. But, you know, it'd be fun to see, you know, how well, like for me, example, you know, I'd say I'm a pretty above average rider. I want to know how I would stack up on a track against a professional. I would probably get dogged so bad, but I want to know how badly I would lose. You know, would I lose by like 10 seconds? Would I lose by like a minute? Would I get lapped? You know, what would happen? You know, I want to know. And so, you know, I'd love to see somebody that's a little bit more track oriented, you know. Now, we've kind of seen a glimpse of this if you watch Big Time's video on like the Road to MotoGP rider. He actually attempts to race one of the younger kids, but he's still basically a professional rider, and even he got pretty much smoked. Now, I'll give it that it was a track more suited to smaller riders, so I don't know how well it would have been with them on a larger track. But Jeremiah from Big Time did not do nearly as well as we all thought he would. And he's actually a track rider, so, you know, I want to know what we could do here, you know. If we can get some of these people, maybe like Big Time or Yami Noob, Jixer Bruh, I don't know, some of you bigger channels out there. See if you can set this up, man. Or Mr. Beast, you know, if you want to do it, I'm all for it. You can take my idea. Just give me a little bit of credit, you know, or at least let me participate. I want to do something cool like that. If you've ever seen that Netflix show, like Fastest Car, I believe it is, where it's basically they take like 3 homemade drag cars and they go up against a supercar, and in the end it's like a 6 or 7 car lineup drag race depending on who won each bracket. You know, I'd love to see something like that too, you know? Get a bunch of different bikes. Red Bull also does a really good job of races like this where they'll do like a MotoGP bike versus an F1 car versus a rally car and a trophy truck or a plane or a jet. Things like that. You know, that is just awesome to see. I love seeing those giant drag races head to head. Professionals doing things, you know. All of those. So if we could get, you know, Red Bull, you know, I'll take a sponsorship. I would love to have a giant Red Bull logo on the side of this bike. I'm not saying no to the idea. Although, you know, I wouldn't mind a Monster logo because that's really what I drink. So if you're listening to this, Monster Energy, hit me up. Now, obviously, these are just some of the ideas that I just thought of recently. If you guys got some other ideas, let me know down in the comments, you know. Because maybe, in the off chance that this video does go viral, I highly doubt it will, because videos like this only ever get like 500 views. But if it does go viral, throw some comments down there, you know. Maybe we'll get some traction, and maybe we can get something like that going. It'd be awesome to see, and I would really love to be a part of it, or at least say that I could have taken part in it. And on that note, I think this video has pretty much come to an end. It's pretty much all I got to talk about. So I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!